So check this out, right? If you follow Von Miller on Instagram, you saw that Von Miller made an announcement on Instagram. Von Miller put a picture up of himself and put in the caption that there was no way that he would be playing under the franchise tag this year. That's right. Here's where I would like to start here. Why would you go on Instagram to say words? Why would you do? I don't understand that. So I got this whole thing about the internet and the people that you got to worry about for a number of reasons. But one thing about it, man, people who prefer to spend their time on social media platforms that aren't meant for words, like go look at the comments on Instagram and go look at the comments on YouTube, right? Whole bunch of people over there that ain't really about their reading life, and they show it off themselves when they get to talking. That's what that is. In fact, I will take it one step further. Public service announcement. I can help everybody out here in the game. Shannon, you might not need any help with this, but I'm going to let these people know this. Anytime you go to somebody's Instagram page and their page is full of words, stay away. You know what I'm talking about? The people that got all those motivational sayings as their posts on Instagram, you got to scroll down 3 rows to find a picture of her. But on the in-between, tough times don't last. Tough times don't last. Tough people do. And all that stuff like that. Every single time, man. Red flag, red flag, red flag. Only redder flag than that is my mom is my best friend. Red flag, red flag, red flag. Run away. Run away.
The road to success is always under construction.
Yes.
Run away.
Yes, run away. Run away. You go to somebody's Instagram page and all you see is text. Run away. Run away. Run away. But, I mean, hey, that's how Von Miller chose to do it. Von Miller chose to go on Instagram to make an announcement. It's counterintuitive to me. It just allowed me to use this as a teachable moment because we all need teachable moments from time to time. Here's my thing about this with Von. On one hand, you could argue he doesn't have any leverage. I would disagree with that. The reason I would disagree with whether or not he has any leverage is the Broncos need him. Like last year, there was a level of depth on that defensive line that I don't feel like they can say they have now, okay? They're worried about DeMarcus Ware and his back. Malik Jackson is gone, okay? So, I mean, that's your 3 best pass rushers, right? Without Vaughn, you're down 2 of them. So, you know, you're glad to have Derek Wolfe back. That's fantastic. They need pass rushers, and they didn't win last year because they had a good defense. They didn't win last year because they had a very good defense. They won last year because they had an all-time good defense. So you going to tell me that defense is going to be all-time good again without its best player? No. That's not going to happen. It's not it. So if Vaughn says he's not going to play the season on the franchise tag, it's really just a matter, does he have the money? If he has enough money to be able to sit for that year, then knock yourself out. Like, that's the way I look at that. If he's got the money to sit for that year, knock yourself out. Go ahead and do it if you're willing to do it. And if he's willing to do it, then Denver does, in fact, have a problem. They do. And I don't blame Von Miller at all for looking at Fletcher Cox and being like, look, it's my time to get paid too. By the same token, I also don't blame the Broncos if they don't want to give up too much guaranteed money after the first 2 years of a deal. The reason being, this is, once again, the dude not too long ago who got himself in the treatment program because he and the PP man decided to try to run some game on the streets. You remember that? With him and the PP man tried to come up with a hustle to help him get out of his little situation? Right? So I don't blame him for having a certain level of apprehension about dealing with Vaughn. I just feel like Vaughn actually has more leverage than the Broncos because if Vaughn's got some money stacked up, then he can afford to wait longer than the Broncos can afford to wait. Because I'm not sure how long the Broncos actually can afford to wait. So my guess is, July 15th, the date that they'd have to make a long-term deal with somebody with a franchise tag? My guess is they'll get a deal done by July 15th. Vaughn will probably be there for training camp, most likely. If not, hey, man, if he's willing to sit, I got no problem with it because it's not my money and it's not my life.
You know who the Broncos got week 1, right?
Do tell.
Cam Newton and the Panthers.
Oh. Cam Newton's like, hey, man, sometimes you got to stand on principle, my brother. Stay out as long as you need.
You gotta stand behind what you believe in.
Yeah. You just like Muhammad Ali. Like, that's what you got to do. Vaughn, you remind me a lot of Muhammad Ali right now. You inspiring me and all the other cats in the league.
Cam gonna send Vaughn all of those Instagram links from all of those text pictures.
Yes, all of those. I will be curious to see how this goes, though, if Von Miller chooses to sit. And the reason I say that is, how many people are going to realize that Von Miller isn't under contract? Because we're about to hear all the rhetoric that comes when guys don't immediately report, right? We're going to hear all that rhetoric that you should be grateful, you need to get in there with your teammates, so forth and so on, and somebody's going to pop up and tell on themselves, and the way that somebody's going to pop up and tell on themselves is when they start talking about how he needs to honor his contract. He's not under contract. Like, that's how this works. His contract ran out. The franchise tag, he hasn't signed the tender. He has no contract. He does not owe anyone anything. There's literally no beef anyone can have with Von Miller right now. Now, if you root for the Broncos, perhaps you'll find a way to manufacture some beef because you don't care what it is. You just want him on the field. Von Miller isn't doing anything for any of our fantasy teams. Therefore, it doesn't really matter to the rest of us if he doesn't play.
Yeah, Von Miller owes it to his teammates to be here. He should be here. He's one of the leaders. He's one of the team captains. He owes it to everybody. His guys on his defensive line to come out here and defend their Super Bowl championship.
Yeah, you're going to hear that. In fact, I can name off the top of my head 3 people that work at this network that I think going to jump up fast on that. I ain't got to call them out. But, Shannon, look like you thinking about the same one I'm thinking about is number 1.
Man, this coffee I'm sipping is good.
By the way, you're sipping that out of, is that a red Solo cup?
Hey, it's coffee.
That's what I'm asking. Like, I don't see how that cup is even surviving. I don't even see. But no, man, you got to get your bread when your bread is there to be gotten. And I can't be mad at anybody that's like, I'm not willing to get hit at those prices. You know why I'm not mad at anybody who says that? Because they ain't found a price I'm willing to get hit at. Not yet. Not once. They have not found the price. Hey, Bomani, how would you like to play right outside linebacker? Nah, I'm good. So if you look at something and you say the money's not right for me to go ahead and do it, I got all the respect in the world for it. What's crazy, though, about this is just how contentious it's gotten, because what John Elway has demonstrated is John Elway has no problem playing hardball. Never forget, John Elway made Peyton Manning take that cut. He made Peyton Manning take that pay cut. He shipped Tim Tebow out of town. They didn't pay the money to Osweiler. He didn't pay the money to Malik Jackson. They got Derek Wolfe on the low ball rate. Like, he has no problem saying no. None whatsoever. Like, they're going to be able to keep this team together as long as they can keep it together, but not at prices higher than John Elway, rather than overpay Brock Osweiler, might trot Mark Sanchez out there to try to defend a Super Bowl title. Think about that.
On principle.
On principle. Let me tell you something else, too, to think about. Interesting trivia factoid of sorts for the Broncos. It is possible that in the last 2 times the Broncos have won a Super Bowl, they have defended said Super Bowl with the 2 worst quarterbacks of defending Super Bowl champions ever. They're going to roll Mark Sanchez out here, and do you remember who played quarterback for the defending champion 1999 Denver Broncos?
I'm going to go with Bubby Brister.
Brian Griese. We thought it was going to be Bubby Brister, and then Brian Griese won the job. But, hey, I respect Elway for it. Like, if you decide that this is the way that we're going to handle business, then handle business that way. The team has an obligation to look out for its own interests, too. Like, I don't have any problem with it. Von Miller taking it personal, though. Nah, man, I feel like Von Miller's agent is telling him all the things that his agent is not supposed to tell him. Because your agent's job, in part, is to hear all the things that would otherwise hurt your feelings.